Hi, I'm Matt Rorie.
Hey.
How's it going?
Brad. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Are you AK? Because we're looking at a big K on the screen.
How long has it been since you saw this, would you say?
That little logo there? It's been a long time.
Yeah?
Quite a long time.
It has been 17 years since they even put out a new King's Quest game. 17 years.
99? 98? Really?
Yeah.
What was that, 8?
And even that was, it was 8, it was King's Quest The Mask of Eternity, but that wasn't even made by Sierra. It didn't even star the royal family of Daventry. It was 3D.
Uh-huh.
Like polygonal.
As one would.
It had like Diablo-style combat sort of in it. That doesn't count.
Was Roberta Williams involved, or was this like kind of made over her objections?
No, she was gone. They had sold the company by then. Mask of Eternity does not count. There are 7 King's Quest games.
But now there's an 8th.
Well, yeah, although this is just called King's Quest.
Okay.
And
a reboot?
Yeah. It's the King's Quest.
This is that's Fable font, right? Am I wrong? Kind of?
Sure. So this is an episodic adventure game. They're very much kind of hewing to the Telltale model.
Was this kickstarted?
No.
Okay.
Activision owns the King's Quest IP now.
Okay.
They own all the Sierra stuff, and they handled this. They relaunched the Sierra brand. Like, see, this was like, I'll prove it to you. Well, maybe.
Who's an Odd Gentleman?
The Odd Gentleman made the Misadventures of PB Winterbottom a few years ago and some other stuff, I think. Okay, it's not going to say Sierra anytime soon in these credits, but take it from me.
Sure.
Activision has relaunched the Sierra name. Sierra is the label that put out Geometry Wars 3 last year, and then now they're here with King's Quest, which is kind of like the marquee Sierra game, right?
Yeah, I'd have to take a look at the catalog. I remember there being a lot of
I'd say King's Quest, a lot of people say, like, I like Space Quest better, I like Quest for Glory.
Phantasmagoria.
I don't think anybody's saying that, nobody's earnestly saying Phantasmagoria is their favorite. Ironically, Jason, I would believe that Phantasmagoria is ironically your favorite, but that's all. Like I said, yeah, Telltale model, they're doing 5 episodes of this, it's episodic.
Let's hop into it.
Chapter 1 just came out. It's $10 for Chapter 1. Let's play it.
Optimistically putting them all in the menu, even before they're out.
Check it out. Cold open. I like it.
Isn't a cold open more of like a cut to a monologue at the beginning of SNL, or is that the...
No, cold open is just...
no title screen?
Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I always thought cold open was just, no introduction, no...
I see.
No theme song, no nothing, you just, like, it just starts.
You are gangly.
Yeah, I like the style in this. The character design in this is one of the really strong...
he looks like King Arthur from Sword of the Stone.
Yeah, yes, okay, sure. You mean the Disney version.
You know, the kind of angly, gangly...
Yeah.
Is he a kid? How old are you? Have you gotten much into the story yet?
You'll see. Okay. Yeah, I've played most of this first chapter. I haven't quite finished it yet.
So, I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you talk, but I am curious. I know Roberta Williams has been talking a bit about this, but she was not involved?
No. She and Ken and Roberta Williams sold Sierra back in the 90s for a fuck ton of money.
But she kind of approves of this,
but yeah, so...
I've been hearing, like, she's not super upset.
Yeah, so they kind of came out of retirement long enough to bless this project.
Okay.
They sort of looked at it early on and gave some advice and just gave their blessing.
That's good. I mean, everybody creative who wants to make something, there's very few people. I remember George Lucas for a long time was saying he would never, ever let anybody else ever make a Star Wars movie, but eventually, like, I got a lot of money for that, so I'm going to go ahead and let somebody else take over for a bit.
Jason, we'll definitely need some more game audio here.
You might want to put subtitles on too, eh?
They are on.
Okay, good.
Those lost wishes weren't the treasure I was after.
A lot of the voice work is quite good in this.
So is he narrating this from the future or something? Because it sounded like an old man.
You'll see.
Yeah, it sounds okay, I think. Sound okay to you, Brad?
I think so.
Good. Keep clicking on stuff.
Wait till he talks again.
It was not exactly as I remembered it, but it wasn't all that different either.
I don't quite know why, but I didn't expect this to just be an adventure game. Like when they first announced it.
You wanted some Gears of War?
No. I'm not talking about what I wanted. I'm talking about what my expectations were based on like the video they'd put out and stuff.
Sure. I didn't see the premiere trailer.
Like the first trailer they put out had a fair amount of
Odd.
Swashbuckling?
Yes,
Swordplay?
like action-y looking sequences.
And see what happens.
Like one could be forgiven for assuming this might have been like some kind of 3D platformer based on some of the early footage that came out. But no, like if you look, you know, it's context sensitive. You know, it's very much what the Sierra games evolved into later in in that genre before it kind of fell by the wayside. Like, you know, if it's something I can look at, I get an eyeball.
I decided this was no time to take a nap, even though that bed looked very squishy and very comfortable.
And if it's something you can use, you know, you get a hand. It's that kind of thing.
Oh!
I knew that was going to happen.
And that's what would have happened if I turned the left switch. But since I am here...
Oh, you automatically die? Does this say reset?
Yeah.
They go back to last save
Yeah,
kind of
so
thing?
that's how they handle death. It's very quick.
I see.
I think it's kind of clever. They do a lot of that stuff.
Sure.
You'll see how this this narration or this narrative kind of framing device works here. I'm going to kind of stop dilly-dallying and just sort of blaze through the tutorial here and get into the meat of the game. But I like the way they handle that stuff with the fact that he is narrating kind of from the past.
From the future.
Or from the future, I'm sorry. He's talking about his past, I'm sorry. That's what I meant.
Wait. Hold on, Grandpa. I don't remember.
Oh, this is a Princess Brad thing?
Kinda.
Beds hanging from stalactites.
We'll get there, Gwendolyn. Don't worry. No detail in this story will be overlooked. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. As I treaded through the river of rumbling trundles, I feared I knew the source of that deafening wind.
I'm looking up to make sure they got stalactite and stalagmite right. I always get those wrong.
Stalactites hang from the
are at the
ceiling.
top.
Yes.
T for top.
Yep. That's a good little mnemonic device there.
I always had to. I always have to. No, I'm never going to remember it. So.
Remember this part of the story.
I always think of it as
Stalagmite for you might step on it.
that's okay. I guess that works.
The greatest
That's
knight
actually
in
pretty bad as well,
all
so.
Daventry, on a quest to return.
I always thought of it as stalactites would have to hang tightly to be suspended from the ceiling, or they might fall.
How do you hang tightly?
I don't know. They're gripping tightly.
Add a shinier hat
Okay.
to my
I'll allow it 50%.
Yeah. Okay. It's worked for me very consistently over
T
the
for
years.
top, I think, is
That works too.
a little bit,
You know,
a little bit easier.
You use yours, I'll stick to mine.
Sure. We'll be trapped in a cave at some point, so
Yep.
we'll have to
For sure.
argue about vocabulary.
Totally. Fighting a...
So you said you got most of the way through. Do you know how long these episodes are planned to be?
I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for all of them, but this first one, I would say at least 3 to 4 hours.
Good.
It's got some good meat to it. Like every time it would hit a beat where I was like, all right, well that's clearly going to be the end of chapter 1. Like it wasn't.
Sure.
So there's a little more to it than I expected. And I like where it's going so far.
So you got a dragon down here. This is just the tutorial. Does it tie into the main storyline?
Well, I mean, this is the game.
Okay.
Like, it's just this part is pretty simplistic. Things get a little more complicated later.
So far, you've mostly just been interacting with the environment. I'm assuming at some point you pick up stuff and have an inventory.
Oh yeah. There's an inventory.
What did you do?
Well, I used my cleverness to outsmart the trap.
That seems bad.
I used my cleverness to hide.
I know what to do here.
So how many of the original King's Quest games did you play? Do you recall?
I've dabbled with all of them.
Sure. Even the first one? Even the first couple?
Well, that's the thing. I came in at 6.
Okay, yeah.
We didn't have a PC or a computer in my family until like 94 or something.
Yeah, I want to say it was about the same way. I think it came with a CD-ROM drive.
Yeah.
I want to say it was a 486 DX2 that came with a CD-ROM
Yeah,
drive, and
that's-
this was one of the first CD games that we had.
Our first computer was a 486, and yeah, King's Quest 6. Well, that was right around the time that sound cards and CD-ROMs were getting big.
Still had to fool around with the boot up cards and boot up discs and memory stuff and everything like that. But this was kind of the.
I'm so busy reminiscing here that I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing.
What's
yeah, you got
used to fix the broken switch?
you use items on stuff. But yeah, 6 was the first one I played, but then I liked it so much that I first went back and got a hold of 5 and played that. And then at that point, I believe there was already some kind of King's Quest collection on the market. And I was able to just get 1 through 4 for like cheap.
So many puns. Just so you call it the pun collection.
Yeah?
Oh, that's like, every title of this has a pun in it, but I don't recall. Oh no, that's a trapped dragon.
To the cave wall.
Yes, this series is rotten with puns, and they did not let that fact go amiss.
Oh,
in writing this game.
I'm not a huge pun fan, unfortunately.
I'll kind of just let you see how it plays out. They lean into the awfulness of puns.
Sure,
in a really fun way.
Last in the sun, the narcoleptic dragon went back to snoring.
I probably sleep all day too.
You ever read any Xanth novels, Pierce Anthony?
No, but those are pretty irreverent, right?
they're pretty. I was looking at the list of titles of Xanth novels. There's one called Not Nice.
Okay.
Knotgneis, like the type of rock.
Wow.
Not nice.
Wow.
He's still cranking them out at 80. It looks like he has 5 more. He's announced that might not even be out yet.
That's good and terrible.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
I don't. Good puns are so rare.
Yeah.
Like,
but bad ones can be good in their own awful way.
Sure, Bill Hicks has a really good one about Cuban pigeons that I always remember, but for the most part, I just remember groaning. It's like a joke from your grandfather, just like,
Yeah, kinda. Well, hey, if you want jokes from your grandfather, you've come to the right game.
All right. How many dragons are there in this cave? Just the one?
Is he gonna come looking for me? I can't remember what happens here. Yep. Oh shit, did I just...
Fire!
I can't move.
No,
I'm dead.
You have to go slowly, probably?
Yeah, so no, I should have gotten in the bed.
Does this mean our family's immortal?
Yeah, not bad.
Let's do that again. I'll pay attention this time.
Is the thing with the beds ever explained?
Not really.
This may have been some kind of barracks or something for some other
Maybe.
group of people. I saw somebody in that little boat before, a skeleton.
I got a tip for you.
Okay.
Don't think about it too hard. Or, you know, do actually. Think about it just hard enough. Think about it just hard enough to feel that sense of like wonderment and discovery that these games are known for. How about that? But no more.
So this is coming out for PS3, PS4,
I believe
Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Windows, it looks like.
I believe it's on the old consoles. Do you know that for sure?
That's what it says here.
Okay, it's definitely on the new consoles and Windows, or Steam, you know, whatever.
Whoever designed
Whatever you
this
call it.
trap thought they were pretty clever, but I would probably find a way to hit that.
I just found the Wikipedia page, and its interface will not be point and click.
No?
Like, no, you would figure that just from the announcement that it's on consoles, you think that would be pretty obvious.
Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't say that. Broken Age came out on PS4 and it still was point and click.
Oh, you know there's some like 55-year-old guy out there or person out there who's just, you know, going to stumble into this and think it's going to be great, but they just can't find their mouse point and click.
Oh yeah, no,
so disappointed.
Polygon ran a nice little King's Quest kind of primer this morning that I was reading. And they were pointing out how, I think it was 3 that had fast travel. They'll let you just port around the world at will.
Oh,
and a lot of people complained and said it made the game too easy, so they took it out.
Oh, you get that a fair amount. There are still people who play like Skyrim without ever, you know, ever turning on fast travel.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
There's a little bit of action-y kind of stuff in this, not too much. Once in a while you get some stuff like this, but...
So you played a lot of King's Quest, but do you consider it, you know, obviously as part of your early video gaming or PC gaming experience, would you consider it like a something you care a great deal about?
Yes. King's Quest has meant a lot to me over the years, and like I think it's more important to the history of video games than a lot of people want to give it credit for, I think.
It was old Jane Jensen and...
yeah, like Jane Jensen did a lot of stuff, but I mean, like, dude, like, Ken and Roberta Williams were making games in the late 70s. You know? Like, they were making text adventures, and like, they made, I can't remember, they made one game before King's Quest that was also like a fantasy adventure, and it was like one of the first games to have graphics. If that says anything to you. Like that stuff is kind of a big deal, I feel like. It always kind of bummed me out that they just vanished from the video game landscape, you know, but then again, they did make an obscene amount of money.
Who'd they sell it to, Sierra Online?
I can't remember. Sierra changed hands multiple times after it got sold.
Yeah, I remember the rights to a lot of these games were crazily involved in terms of who had what.
Yeah, especially because Sierra ended up getting tied up in the big Vivendi morass.
Yeah.
And then, you know, at that point, like, it vanished down the Activision hole.
Wow. Sierra Online published Half-Life, the first Half-Life.
Yeah, but that was after the sale. Like,
sure.
Sierra was already just a publishing label at that point for Vivendi.
Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry, I can barely talk tonight. Gabriel Knight.
Lease Quest. Oh, hang on.
Quest for Glory, those are pretty good.
I gotta remember exactly how to do this. Is this gonna do it? Oh, did I get up here in time? Oh no, I didn't make it! I was trying to remember if it was that way or... yes, that is what I needed. My bad.
Do you think the success of stuff like The Walking Dead and the Telltale games made this kind of an easy sell for Activision?
Yeah, I have to imagine. It's weird because Telltale... Hang on. Wake up, dragon. Oh, he didn't come get it. What the hell? Telltale announced like 2 to 3 years ago. It's been a while that they had the rights to King's Quest, or they had struck a deal.
Huh.
Oh crap. Okay, so I need him to be eating the meat right next to him, not the one over on the left. Come on, dragon. Wake your ass up. We gotta get this tutorial over with. This isn't even the fun part of the game. Is he gonna... Is he gonna get that meat? I can't remember what it is I need to do here.
I am of no help to you. Is there a hint system or anything like that?
No,
that you,
nothing. Ah, crap. I don't think this is gonna cut it. Nope.
Oh no.
Not gonna do it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You just kind of reset.
Yeah, I have to. So you've noticed the platform goes down in front of him, and then also on the left. I have to get them. I have to get him to. Why is he not eating the meat? Oh wait.
Ring the bell.
Yes. Right, I had to wake him up.
So I'm sorry. I asked. Is there any kind of hint system or anything like that in this, or is it figured out?
No. It's all just figured out. But like, I would say this puzzle I'm on right now is the hardest puzzle I've seen so far.
Okay.
All right. Now that he's eating the meat.
You go down the other side.
Yes, now I can ride the platform down the other side, and he... Wait a minute. I might be wrong about that. Oh, I'm sorry. I have totally jacked this up. Again. Hopefully...
He is done eating meat.
Yes. Now I need to go get him to go eat that meat. Hey!
Sleepy time.
That's what it was. I'm sorry. All right. Now watch me go.
Very polite of these dead people to set this up exactly for what you need to go get that mirror.
Ah, you can say that of a lot of video games.
Sure. I remember Old Man Murray ragging on a puzzle in one of the Jane Jensen Gabriel Knight games where you have to put glue on top of a rat mouse hole and then trick a rat to go through it so you can get rat hair for a mustache or something.
I remember that. I love that first Gabriel Knight game though. I love the atmosphere of that thing.
This seems well done.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, again, like, this is basically still tutorial land. I think, like, the really interesting characters don't come into it for, oh god, for another few minutes. Once we get past this little sequence here. But there's a lot of, like, good cinematic, kind of dramatic flourishes to this. That you'll see here presently. This is not like aggressively bad or anything, but I could have done without this part, you know. I think it's fine for what it is.
This is the kind of stuff that fans of the older stuff might have problems with.
Yeah, and this is the kind of stuff, like I said, that they showed in that early trailer that I was like, what is this game? Is this a platformer? Is this an action game? But thankfully, this stuff is in the extreme minority. It's almost exclusively walking around talking to people and finding objects and using them on other objects.
Well, QTE stuff might be a little more difficult, especially for older people who might want to go back to some of this stuff. I'm not
right, or just don't know what it is. You know, like haven't played games that have this stuff in there.
They still haven't explained what you're actually doing in this cave.
No. Well, that's the thing. That's kind of an extreme. Oh God. Late title card kind of scenario.
Sure.
Of like they throw you into this whole kind of extended prologue here.
Is this dragon gonna wind up being your friend after you free him from his chains?
You know, hang on just a second. I actually can't answer that question, and I'll show you why. Whoop. Oh God, that's a bad place to be.
With a magic mirror safely in my possession.
What does that X do? Does that open up?
That's just your inventory.
Can I see it? Have you even looked at it yet? Oh, is that? Oh, you just have 5 slots. Is that how you get?
Yeah. They don't make you carry a bunch of stuff around. The inventory stuff is very straightforward.
How much ammo can you carry?
Ammo?
Yeah, for your guns.
It's like 200 Gatling gun rounds.
Cool. All right. Yeah, you should up your strength. You can carry more that way.
But once you get the magic missile launcher, that's actually unlimited. All right, so here is one of the things about this series or this game that I am intrigued about, but I don't know.
For a dragon that has chains on it,
wait, just listen, just read.
In front of me. Any would clear my path to safety, and all would have rippling consequence.
What's it gonna be? At home, when I was playing this with my girlfriend, she was like, shoot it in the eye, so I shot it in the eye.
Okay, try something else.
But yeah, when I did that, let's see what this does. I shot it in the eye, and that was fine. I got out, but the dialogue was such that that was clearly like the sort of vengeful thing to do. You know, they're like, that was maybe a little meaner than you had to be to get out of that.
I don't know. If I see a dragon coming at me, I'm shooting in the eye. If I had a real world kind of, you know, those real world dragons. If I ever have a real world dragon after me, I'll probably shoot it in the eye.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just be on the safe side.
I climbed out of the well and headed back.
That's fair, but like they're obviously setting that up as something that's going to have an effect later in the game.
I know I've heard this voice actor somewhere before.
You have absolutely 100%.
Is that Deckard Cain?
No.
Okay.
Many troublesome.
Who is it?
It's a way more famous actor than that.
Yeah.
That's not Wallace Shawn, is it?
No.
King Edward was so proud that you returned his lost
I'll give you a
treasure
minute.
that
He
made
sounds like
you
Deckard Cain.
Everyone knows that.
Or is it more that Deckard Cain sounds like?
Get back to that dragon.
Gwendolyn, there's so much more to my stories than dragons. I hope this old cap will be remembered for far
nothing.
more than
No?
the action tag
Christopher Lee?
across its brim. So
Christopher Lee's dead, man.
Old British guy? I have no idea.
adventures.
There's a lot of those.
We have to go back.
Oh, that guy? What's his name?
Christopher Lloyd.
To the dragon.
I was close, wasn't I?
How did you know shooting
I haven't seen Christopher Lloyd in anything in forever.
Over the years,
Yeah, I don't know what he's been up to, but he's doing
despicable.
voice work in this game.
He also sounds like Charlie's uncle from Charlie Willy Wonka.
Okay.
Very hungry.
The first Willy Wonka, not the other Willy Wonka that never
I
happened.
could only eat with my neglect.
You ever watch the Tim Burton Willy Wonka movie?
No.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard that.
I certainly wasn't going to set a dragon loose.
Kind of burned out on Tim Burton for a while there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have.
You really thought that through, Grandpa. I would have tricked him too. Back home,
What was it we were talking about? Batman. Oh, my Bloodborne stream last week. We were talking about Batman. I went back and watched a little bit of '89 Batman
Yeah, it was on Netflix recently.
on Netflix. I'm not going to say it doesn't hold up, but it is very Tim Burton.
Gwendolyn?
Tim Burton is an interesting. He's had an interesting career arc.
Yes.
Like the last movie, I think he was really committed to his Big Fish.
Yeah.
After that, it's all, you know, kind of the bullshit remix. And I haven't looked at his IMDb page or anything like that in a while. But
Surprised I've ever been. Though I wouldn't mind a slice of magic fruit.
So anyway, they've got their, they've got their framing device here. That's the cover of King's Quest VI.
That is.
I jumped out of my chair when I saw that figuratively the first time I played through this, and I was like, man, that's cool. I fawned over that box a lot when I was like 13.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Because like I said, these King's Quest games were really something back in the day. I thought. It's weird because I feel like there's almost this like religious divide between Sierra adventure game fans and LucasArts adventure game fans. Like, I don't feel like I know a lot of people that like both.
I didn't play a huge amount of LucasArts.
That's the thing for me too. I'm sure I would have loved those games. I just wasn't exposed to them. I didn't really know about them at the time. Some of this stuff's a little hokey still, which is very much King's Quest. Like, if there was one word I would use to describe the old King's Quest games, it's hokey. Like,
they're all ages accessible.
Yes, they were very, very like all ages, very earnest.
They can be
very
smart, but
very storybook. Yeah, totally. Like there was some really interesting stuff. Like there was that island. You remember how 6 was made out of islands? Like the landmass in 6 was a bunch of different.
I want to say I do.
There was like a troop of grammatical gnomes on one of the islands in that game. If you remember that. Do you?
It has been a long time.
Like a bunch of the puzzles on that island pertain to like weird little grammatical tricks. Like there was definitely some smart stuff in there.
Loves telling it.
But I wouldn't call them like especially
risque or anything like that.
Yeah, edgy. I mean, they were not remotely like edgy or biting or sarcastic at all. You know.
Magic elves.
I think an affinity for puns might
they all say the same thing.
Be a little
He's just old.
antithetical to Edge.
Yeah, totally.
Just in terms of my experience. But then again, they did go on to make Phantasmagoria, which was one of the first games that ever had. They had nudity in it, right?
I believe it may be like near nudity. I don't know. You should ask Vinny and Dave Snyder. What they could tell you.
I remember hearing that. You ever read that History of Trilobite, where Graham Devine went out to the set for Seventh Guest 2 and saw a naked actress and was kind of freaked out and almost quit the company, I want to say, at that point.
I kind of want to read that. Is that a book or is that just online somewhere?
It was online somewhere. I want to say it might have been one of Jeff Keighley's old behind-the-scenes GameSpot features, but it's somewhere.
In that case, I will gladly be there to cheer you on and eat delectable appetizers.
Nope. No junior tournament. I'll be squaring off against you.
I see. Well, perhaps this is the time to stop listening to stories and finally make some of your own.
So I missed all this conversation. What's going on?
There's like a Knights tournament about to take place here. That's that's Graham's granddaughter here that he's been telling the stories to. And apparently she has entered the tournament. He's about to take her uppity cousin down a peg or two.
Guy really likes his hat.
Set those on the nightstand.
I mean, that's the classic hat. Like that is, that's the King's Quest 1 hat.
Whoa! Like, he's got a lot of bedtime pills to take.
Yep. But when Graham was out doing his adventure, and that was the hat he wore. Like that thing's kind of iconic.
Like that fencing tournament. I hear you're competing.
I could have probably skipped some of this stuff.
But I'm not so sure anymore.
Nonsense.
Actually, maybe I can't skip it.
Scott, you're worried about. He's no bother. After all, I only learned that you entered after he complained about it all morning. Threatened, I'm guessing. There are many ways to win a duel. I, for one, have always been fond of...
Of?
Talking.
Yeah, so they get a little bit of the Telltale stuff in here, and
cool.
This is how. Let's take the high road.
Treat my opponents with respect. You'll be surprised what opens up to you. A lovely fellow once...
You lied to Gwendolyn. She will remember this.
I like that they sort of just cherry-pick that stuff a little bit, though. Like I feel I haven't. And to be fair, I haven't played a lot of the more recent Telltale stuff, but like
you don't need to have it for every single response.
But I played like season 1 of The Walking Dead, and I liked it a lot. But it felt like that game at a point was almost nothing but dialogue trees,
Yeah.
And I feel like they use that here, but they use it more sparingly, which I feel like is a better mix.
I think I got that for Vita. I think I tried it for Steam, and I have it for Vita too, and I've never gotten very far in either of them.
Big day tomorrow.
That's cute.
Yeah. I think there's some really great character design in this game, and like animation and voice work, like it all comes together. I almost wish we had just sort of started the quick look here instead of with the tutorial, because I feel like coming up here very shortly is where all the really rich like character stuff, like the writing and everything.
So do you play it all as Gwendolyn, or is it mostly
No,
just
it's all been in flashback so far.
Okay.
And looking at the chapter select screen, I think that's going to be more or less like the formula for the whole season or the whole game or whatever you want to call it. I mean, like I said, it's 5 episodes.
Are you controlling any of this? Can you move back and forth? Or?
I think I could have been actually controlling it, but I don't think it matters. This is not an action game.
Gracefully rappelling down the cliff, I welcome the sight of an actual road, the first sign of civilization. Daventry was just a few miles to the east. I'd read all about its wonders in my travel books. I couldn't wait to check out its famous, fantastical floating island.
All right, let's get somewhere. Let's do some stuff.
All right, you're moving. Do you have a map?
No. Kind of wish that it had one or something similar. Because it can be a little easy to get lost in this game. Like, there's a fair amount of just crisscrossing paths going all over the place.
That's a nice horse.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. That's a Rob Liefeld chest, too.
Yeah. These knights are some great characters. Hopefully I'll try to mainline it to where we can get to the point where we can talk to these guys and stuff, because they're a lot of fun. Pretty much all the characters and all the.
Hey, over here!
That's what kind of what King's Quest has always been about, right? You know, like just finding fanciful surroundings and like weirdo, interesting creatures and characters. Just lots of weird, goofy storybook stuff.
A terrible start.
I feel like
How did you catch up?
this game hits that pretty hard.
Good. Alpenhorn. Flurn.
Some sort of mouthpiece.
All right.
What do they call those things? And now I have to. It's the big pipes they have in the Alps, where they warn people. It's Alpenflug. Alpenflurn.
I'm sorry. What?
You know those big, like 12-foot long horns that they have in the Alps. Now I have to look it up. Sorry.
I need you to look it up.
Alpenhorn.
I need to know what that term actually is.
Yeah, they're Alpenhorns.
Okay.
They're really like Ricola, where they yell out Ricola and they blow the horn. That's an Alpenhorn.
Okay. I believe you.
It's vocab. It's Rory's vocab hour here on.
This is why I like having you on a quick look.
My brain works in really weird ways.
No, I appreciate that.
I'll think of something I have to immediately verify. That's really pretty.
Don't ever let anybody tell you that you shouldn't. Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, it's nice painted little.
Yeah, I think they did a really nice. It's pretty low poly.
Sure.
But I think they did a great job with the art style.
They definitely do seem to have been influenced by that Telltale kind of light cell shading.
Yeah,
kind of thing to it.
For sure.
Which is fine.
But I feel like it still captures the Sierra feel fairly well.
Wheels seem freshly broken.
Maybe that'll come into play. Oh, you know what? Something that I forgot to do that'll save us some time.
Has Christopher Lloyd ever done any other
I'm sure he's
voices
been in
for a video game?
A thing or two here and there. I don't know.
I have to look him up. We have a website called Giant Bomb.
That's true.
Those birds needed a toolbox.
They had a Back to the Future game a few years ago, right?
Yeah, we were talking about it on the podcast yesterday. I can't remember if he did voice work in that or not. Michael J. Fox definitely did not. Like they had definitely had a good sound alike for Marty McFly.
Yeah, 30 years on, it's tough to redo the youthful enthusiasm.
Yes, but I'm not sure. What are you doing?
He was in Back to the Future, the game.
He was? Okay.
And Transformers: Fall of Cybertron.
What?
And something called Toonstruck.
Where do those tools go?
He has not yet been added to this game, so Sony needs to get on that.
Did I totally run past where those tools went to? Were you paying attention?
I didn't see any tools at all.
Damn it.
Are they further down this path?
I could have sworn I was supposed to pick them up around here somewhere.
There they are, right there.
No,
right
that's
there.
just the box.
Oh.
Shame. The only tool left seemed to be a small hatchet.
Oh, I was supposed to just grab it out of the box. I was thinking they floated down the river. My bad.
Start asking me thousands of questions about that hatchet. I did not go around using it on everything.
You use it on everything.
Okay.
He basically asked you to.
Okay, sure.
Use it on that tree.
I think you can only use it on something if it's already something you can interact with.
No.
Otherwise.
Find a person. Use the hatchet.
I don't know if we'll see it here, but well, let's just keep on. There's a nice little sight gag with the cape where no matter how big the inventory object is, like he'll grab objects that are as big as him and he just like flicks the cape over them and they disappear. I like that they acknowledge the absurdity of an adventure game inventory in this, you know, without actually saying as much.
Stand back, you dirty thieves! Wah! Oh, it's just a boy.
Pretty good animation too.
Yeah.
Pretty slick.
Hard to pronounce. You know, you should never sneak up on a guy in a dangerous place like. Oh! What's wrong with your foot? Probably stepped on a spiniferous thornweed. Don't worry, I got just the fix for that. Tell me, is it more of a ow or a oh? Either way, the Merchant of Miracles has got you covered, but it'll cost you. I've risked my neck to forge the most rare, miraculous, mysterious, and oftentimes delicious ingredients. Here it is. I massage this into my skin twice a day, and just look at my little biscuits. Well, now that I've mulled it over, you'd better not. It might stunt your growth. Ooh, such exquisite material. Hey. I knew you weren't from around here. Well, you best get going. Nobody likes a late night. Oh, wait.
Late night.
Every bridge in is out. And my shortcut.
I didn't get it. Sorry.
Rock leaped straight out of the water. Now I'm stuck here with no wheel, a lost toolbox, and Mr. Fancy Cakes. Say, I'll bet a fine, strapping young man like you could help me fix up this wheel. Yep, you helped me fix my.
Does he ever talk in these flashbacks at all?
Tournament. Hopefully, no one else notices your horrible.
Like voice talking?
Oh, how rude!
No, he just did, didn't he? Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Me?
Nope.
Cute little animals. Who are those guys?
I don't know.
Unicorns, baby unicorns.
Can I pet your goats? Stay away from my majestic unicorns.
Like I said, unicorns.
Yep. You called it. You got that one. Here's how you use stuff. Just walk up to something and... And then you hit the A button a bunch to feel like you're really chopping.
Does it vibrate your controller?
I think it actually did a little bit.
That missing wheel had me stumped. I had to go out and pass the root of the problem.
Terrible.
Grandpa, your infamous puns are not my favorite.
What's the matter? You don't like the timbre of my voice?
See, I like at a certain point he's just trolling the audience with it.
I can't even get too upset about that. If that was played straight,
Yes,
I would have been pretty pissed.
They are very self-aware about it. It's one of the many little charming things about this game that I like.
As long as it's not some kind of like Reddit comment thread where everybody's trying to one-up each other.
Gross.
Let's all quote Big Lebowski.
Right. Yep. Nope. No, like, you know, the writing has been actually pretty sharp here.
An overgrown patch.
Huh. Tom Kenny was the voice of that merchant.
Huh. Who's that?
Tom Kenny from Mr. Show. He does the voice
wow.
of, I believe he's SpongeBob SquarePants voice.
No shit.
No, he's done a lot of voice acting.
Okay, well then he's kind of a big, like I would say, like the voice of SpongeBob is a pretty big talent to get.
I want to say Tom Kenny is the voice of SpongeBob, but I'm not entirely sure.
If that's actually the case.
Drew is thumbing up for me from the controller. Yeah, he does voice acting in a lot of different stuff.
Okay, but there's one other celebrity voice actor that we're almost to that I really want to make it to.
Okay.
Because he was my favorite so far. Like I think Christopher Lloyd does a great job as the centerpiece of this. But
The town square was eerily quiet.
No, he seems committed to it. He seems like he's performing well.
oh yeah, totally.
A lot of celebrity voice acting stuff and this kind of stuff and these kind of games can get phoned in pretty easily.
Yeah, no. He's doing it.
I remember Patrick Stewart in Lands of Lore 3, I want to say. He didn't mail it in. He was really good, but it was also like he was only in it for the intro before his character
Same thing with Skyrim. He was in Skyrim for about 15 minutes.
Liam Neeson did the first bit of Fallout 3 and
I stumbled.
all pretty decent, but they also seem like they get paid for their day of recording and
Aha! Something big and round.
This obviously took a long time for Lloyd to do. Not bad.
Yep. I like that, right? So there appear to be multiple solutions for a lot of the puzzles.
Oh, good.
Which is also very much a departure from the Sierra style of like super, like you were saying, you know, super obscure items.
Find a pixel on the screen that is the one you need.
So I won't waste time, but there are like 3 different ways in this town here to solve this wagon wheel puzzle. And I actually just went with a different one than I did the first time. And I don't know what effect that has. But characters commented on the way I did it in my previous playthrough, so there's some degree of variability here. Here, this is also
It's like Mass Effect, man. You come back in King's Quest 18, and they'll be commenting on that wheel. You solve that wheel puzzle really weirdly.
Yeah, right. Like when I played through this the first time, like just as I was walking out of there, just as I was starting to think, man, I gotta walk all the way through that windy thing again, like this happened. Like, everything about this game, I feel like, is fairly self-aware.
It's basically Dark Souls.
Yep, totally.
Shortcuts.
Yes, also that. But let's make it to the tournament before we call this thing.
Cool.
At least.
Do I really have to hear the story about how you took forever to tiptoe across that fallen tree again?
No, I guess not.
I thought this might do the trick.
What a clever choice! Such craftsmanship, and sturdy, too! Just hope you didn't pay too much. I'd hate for you to have spent...
Oh, I stole it.
You've only just arrived in town, right?
Oh, right, yes,
You
I
ready,
actually
Mr.
did.
Fancy Cakes? I know, darling, I know. Silly question. You were born ready.
Actually, you have the option to leave some money behind for the thing you took, and I totally forgot to do it.
I was able to procure an entrance ticket to the tournament. Since you so graciously found me a wheel, I am more than willing to sell it to you at a reasonably discounted rate. Are you interested?
No thanks. Not really interested.
Are you sure? They'll charge you double at the tournament. They're not as trustworthy as I am.
The price still seems really high to me.
Okay, you're twisting my turban here. I didn't pay you for such a deal, Deliberator. Final offer, half off the previously discounted rate. Come on, treat yourself, boy.
I'll see if I can find a better deal at the tournament.
I'll suit yourself, but don't say I never did anything for you. Now, let's Vamanusi from this Meadowland, Mr. Fancy Cakes. It is go time.
It's goat time.
Yep, sure is.
This doesn't seem very amenable to, commerce and travel with all these bridges getting washed out all the time.
Yeah.
We sincerely hope you enjoyed your stay in our luxury cabin. Please gather your belongings and watch your head on exit.
Thanks for the hospitality.
No time to lounge, my boy! Lucky for you, the parade is halted. Another case of a mysterious missing bridge, I imagine. Watch your step. We wouldn't want any tears in that illustrious cape.
Oh, you jerk.
You know, they say something like 20% of all bridges in California are under-maintained and under...
That is really scary.
Yeah.
I was actually just reading about bridge engineering and bridge collapse the other night. Like famous structural collapses and stuff. Like, that's really terrifying.
You know they had the earthquake in '89 where that part of the Bay Bridge...
Oh, yeah.
You know they were back up and running within a month, apparently?
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. That's what my girlfriend says, and her family's been here for a long time.
Oh, that jerk!
Oh, he took 4 of them.
That super sucks.
What did he take?
4 coins.
Yeah.
I had 5, now I have 1. Bummer.
The forest is blocked until this situation is under control.
What do you got to say?
Forest is
Oh, boo.
This situation
These guys are
is
great.
under control.
Basically, every one of these guards in the entire game has the same 2 voice actors.
Back away, back away. This area is...
Oh, it sounds like the milkman from the Psychonauts.
Apologies, I'm late. I should be on the list. First name Graham, last name...
The list, unfortunately, is inside the theater, which is across that bridge, which is inexplicably missing.
We've ordered a temporary fix, but we're still sorting out the work order.
Well, with all the recent budget issues, I remain skeptical about the repairs.
Well, can't those knights check the list?
Do you mean Kyle and Larry? They're off duty. Don't ask.
You needn't worry. These night hopefuls will figure out a solution soon, and then we can carry on with the auditions.
Well, but I am a hopeful knight. If you just step aside, I'm confident that I could find a way across.
Daventry Decree 6645 states that a royal guard, once commanded, must never, under no circumstances, abandon his post while on duty.
Well, technically, Addendum 237A allows us to leave if someone is in distress and in need of assistance, of a life or death nature.
I stand corrected, and we wouldn't want a repeat of the Rubenstern fiasco. A tardy auditionee, however, hardly counts for distress. Sorry, but we can't leave our post. King's orders.
Oh, yeah? Well, guess what?
You're gonna go murder somebody, aren't you?
Yep, that's what I'm... Yep, totally. Oh, actually, no, I don't remember how to get them down here. Yes, I do.
Stay off those rocks. It's dangerous. Distress!
Abandon post!
Learn how to swim, boy.
Thanks for saving me.
You're welcome, lad.
He was talking to me.
I believe he was talking to me.
Nope, me. This tired argument is getting...
That seems excessive.
No need to argue.
Are you gonna kill him?
Uh-oh.
No, I thought you were gonna tip the tree on top of him.
Oh.
Can you just leave him there and go back up and
It's an adventure game, you know.
Now they're gonna go jump in a river while they have a suit of armor on and drown because of your...
Things happen according to the needs of the plot.
You just killed 4 people.
And, you know, moving the game forward.
Mind if I join your semicircle?
Let us big kids figure this one out.
Shh. Your hero is thinking. Well, I know the answer, but I want to see how all of you will solve.
There's Wallace Shawn.
Yep! I was really happy when you said Wallace Shawn earlier, because he's totally in this game.
Like a little man who wants to do big things.
Every tree you see, you should try to hit it.
Yeah?
I think that's a good... Eventually you'll find one that actually...
Think so?
Just knock it over.
Worth testing that theory.
Well, maybe for him.
Over here, buddy.
What a jerk.
No bueno.
It's okay, now there's a log down there. Maybe I can do something with that. What do you think?
I believe you.
Okay.
So you can't hatch at that tree?
No. I can try.
Is it not even an option? Or?
Try. There's always an option.
And then you chop down the tree full of angry bees?
Enough, Gwendolyn.
Shut your yap, kid.
Hush, child.
Pardon me.
Aw.
Still got this log. Tree, rather.
When does a tree become a log? How big do you think? How small do you think you have to cut a tree down to make it a log? Like in the beginning of Commando, when Arnold Schwarzenegger is carrying that tree over his shoulder, is that a log? Technically, maybe like is half a tree a log? Like you have to subdivide a tree a little bit to make a log. There's also splinters you got to think about.
It's true.
And chips.
I'm
curious about if there's some industrial measure for what a log actually is.
Yeah.
Or a plank.
I'd say if the tree is hollowed out, it's definitely a log.
Hollowed out?
It's a hollow log, I would say.
Even if it's still the full size of the tree?
I think so.
I don't know. I would say just... Now I'm really, really curious about like the woodworking industry and how they define this kind of stuff.
You have an inquisitive mind. I admire.
I think about things.
I admire that.
I would assume that a tree would have to be cut into at least tenths to be considered logs. Unless it's a small tree, in which case the proportions might be a little bit different. I'm thinking about big trees, like the one you have down there.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should go try to put that tree to use.
But what if it's a log?
You can't ignore me forever.
I don't mean to be rude, but I'm deep in thought.
I'm Sicilian. You think a tree is made of logs before it gets chopped down?
Oh man, you were asking questions that
lodged in the tree.
were not meant to be answered.
Is a log only part of a dead tree, or can a live tree have logs inside of it before it's... now I'm really curious.
These are deep philosophical issues that we are ill-prepared to address. All I know is how to tie a rope onto some smaller logs to make a raft.
I'm not...
Yes?
Now I'm thinking about how many logs you need to make a raft. Like, does one suffice? Like, if you can float on it,
I'm going to say...
it's big enough.
According to King's Quest, the answer is 5.
I'll stop. I don't know why I'm thinking about all this stuff now.
Right?
Yes.
I've been doing the support emails all day, so
Let's see how it might make you a little batty.
good to, no, it's good to have something to think about, like logic problems.
Thinking about their own agenda. I also...
I guess so far the multiple solutions to every puzzle thing makes me feel like I wouldn't really be challenged by this very much, which is kind of, but then the old King's Quest games did have those instances where you had like to find one specific thing to solve a puzzle,
right.
And that was always just kind of like wandering around and clicking on stuff.
That stuff could be infuriating. Oh,
Yeah.
in this case, the stuff I was doing just now, you have to do all of that.
Yeah,
like you're
yeah.
getting, you're effectively getting all those other knights across.
And it seems like it seems like for something like that puzzle there, it just felt like it was going to make it very clear what you have to do next to do anything, which is entertaining enough if you are playing this for the story, but it seems like if you're trying to get brain puzzled, it might not be.
Friend? What's your favorite
I don't
color?
know.
Do you like popcorn flavored jelly beans?
You would know more than I would if this is a really challenging game for puzzle lovers.
Yeah. I'd say that the puzzles have been a good difficulty with it.
Okay.
That helps to keep the game moving, you know?
Sure.
Wednesdays and Saturdays, and I would say
As opposed to
more of a secret
obscure, dumb stuff like where you have to like look up a guide to figure it out.
Competition will not be easy, and Daventry needs men like us. If we put our heads together, we might.
all Sean going for it.
Yeah.
If you win, put a
Very
good
stupid
word
voice.
in for me with the king, and if I win, I'll do the same. Soon, we'll both be moving up the ranks in the castle together. We should head inside the theater, though.
All right, we're just about ready to draw this lengthy quickly to a close, but I want to get in here and talk to these people a little bit.
It's basically infamous now.
Yep, totally.
Reversal.
Let's wait until I get the lightning grenades.
Graham, to the front of the stage, please.
Do you think this is how they chose knights back in the day? Like auditions?
Yep, totally.
That you are officially signed in. Yay. And I do want to apologize. I am very, very terribly sorry. But we've run out of commemorative tote bags.
That's not a problem. I have no use for tote bags. My mother designed my cape with lots of pockets. Is the next event about to start?
Not so fast, Pocket Boy. The tournament bylaws explicitly state that each contestant must complete every event before continuing on in the competition. Since you were late, you missed the test of chivalry and the welcoming parade. Both designed as light-hearted warm-ups and getting-to-know-you type exercises. You know, an icebreaker before we start in on the usual death, destruction, and duels of a cutthroat nature.
Don't forget about Amendment 70, Article 4.
I was getting to that, thank you. In the spirit of equal opportunity, the new rules state that you can schedule a make-up chivalry test if and only if the circumstances for your absence were extenuating. So, I will ask, what were your extenuating circumstances that made you late for the tournament?
Well, my mom whipped up a stack of my special chocolate chip pancakes, and she never lets me leave the house until I finished all my breakfast.
I'll just pencil in Mummy's boy. Now, go on, mingle with the other contestants. Find out as much as you can about them, and when you're ready for the chivalry test, come and see me.
Afamata?
Shreki Afamata.
Shreki Makamakadunga Wakaka!
Hello, my name's Graham. Nice to meet you.
Achaka.
So, where do you hail from?
Brad, what's your thoughts on A Knight's Tale, the movie?
Never seen it.
Never seen it, really?
Isn't that the Heath Ledger with like modern classic rock soundtrack?
Yes.
So,
Never
But a lot of people got upset about that, but then the director made the statement that that movie took place even before symphonies were a thing, so even having like a symphonic orchestral soundtrack would not have been contemporarily appropriate.
I suppose that's fair.
That's Brian Helgeland, I want to say, the guy who did, God, what was that detective movie?
You're right.
LA Confidential? I think it's the same dude.
Really?
It's decent. It's a fun, dumb movie. It's not even, yeah, it's a dumb movie. It's really fun. Yeah.
Chivalry test.
It's got gosh, so many talented B actors, not B actors, but you know, Alan Tudyk is in there, character
Really?
actors, shall we
Oh, wow.
say.
Thanks
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk's in it. What's his name? The guy who played Vision in the second Avengers movie.
Paul Bettany?
Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'd recommend it while we're on the subject of knights.
Okay.
Look, I don't want to be in this conversation any more than you do, but I missed the chivalry test, and I need to make
Paul Bettany plays Chaucer.
No shit. The Chaucer? No shit. That's okay.
It's fun.
Is that as silly as it sounds like it should be?
It's pretty silly.
Okay.
It's pretty silly. Rufus Sewell as the bad guy.
I'm Graham.
No last name.
I only mentioned it because it takes place at a series of jousting tournaments.
Your name?
And my only other reference here is the World of Warcraft Knights tournament thing. Sure. Totally less appropriate than A Knight's Tale.
Starting with my name.
Circumference. I'm visibly shaking here at the strength of that button.
You're just like clenching your fists over there, gritting your teeth.
I can't even be angry at that one. Puns that try to fly under the radar are the most.
You don't call attention to them.
Yeah.
I'm Graham.
That one's really obvious. I like that kind of stuff. Just be overt about it.
Sure.
I didn't catch your name.
What? Is this true? Surely you jest, Greg. What rock did you crawl out from? How do you not recognize this well-proportioned face?
Well, it's not Greg, it's Graham. And, of course, I know who you are. You're Sir Ten of himself.
Cheeky. But now you're starting to bother me, Grant.
I couldn't help it. No, but seriously, you're that jerk who pushed me into the river.
Oh, yes, that silly feather does look familiar. Look at it. Like a limp piece of cheese. What you need, Gale, is an upgrade. Like my mane of excellence.
Hey, my mother gave me that feather. I might be silly, but you're going to have to wait 1 second. I'll be right back.
I'll be waiting right here, Garrett.
Anyway, I won't belabor this part too much, but
have they announced a schedule for this? Like every few months, I assume they're gonna put something out, or
the press release made a reference to like throughout the rest of 2015 and 2016. So I'm guessing it'll be next springish before it actually wraps up.
Or is it something you buy all at once, or can you buy it individually?
$10 for this first chapter.
Sure.
It's $40 if you just want to pay up front for all of it.
Seems bold.
You think so? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This first chapter's been pretty meaty. I'd say it's at least 3-4 hours.
Good. I've noticed. I've been reading more. God, there's a guy who's been publishing books. I think Scalzi. John Scalzi, is that his name?
Yes, that is a guy who writes books.
He's been doing some episodic stuff on Kindle, and it's always like the first one's really long.
Yeah.
Like 80 pages, and you buy a second one. It's like, wow, this is only like 10 pages long.
That's how you get him.
I like his stuff, though, so I'll keep on buying it. But
That's so inconsiderate. Although clever, these silly puns are not very becoming to a gentleman like yourself. Go meet everyone.
Anyway, I mostly wanted to get to this point just to drive home the fact that it's not all using objects on other stuff.
Cool. There's some talking. It seems like it's well written.
Yeah, you have to go through here, and you basically have to learn enough about these guys to pass like a quiz.
Sure.
Here.
It seems like it's well written so far, and
it is quite well written. It's pretty funny.
Definitely well voice acted as well.
Yeah, like a lot of good animation, a lot of good voice acting.
This is the PC version we're playing right now?
Yeah, it's PC, but it's out on, like you said, on all the consoles.
Well, it seems solidly performing. It's not any.
I'm really happy with it so far. There's a lot more character and personality to it than I expected.
Sure.
Versus the previous King's Quest stuff, which, like I said, could be a little, I don't know, a little self-serious. I mean, or maybe that's not the right term. You know what I mean. It was very earnest.
Yes, and it could be.
I saw some descriptions of this when the reviews started coming out of, like, there's a little more Monty Python in this.
It's good not to be reverential too much when you're going to remake a game like this.
Yes.
Like, everybody's learned that.
It's got its own identity, but it still kind of pays homage.
Yes, homage is a good thing, but then like slavishness.
Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely not that.
Good.
I think I just got all these wrong because I wasn't even paying attention to the answers I was giving.
Okay, let's see here. Tallying.
Takes out a cord and Silsey. That's about what I was about to say. Too many puns on the brain.
Boom. 0.
Gather some more fun facts about your
Do a trust fall.
But yeah, I think it's a good mix of kind of old and new adventure game tropes. I think it looks really nice, and it's really charming.
Available now?
And yes, this first episode of King's Quest is out now. And I think you should play it. See what these guys have to say real fast.
Back it up.
Okay. Now we're good. Bye.